It's not the German precision, it's not the Japanese delicacy, it's not the Italian flair, it's the American 2004 Chevrolet Corvette Z06. This is the C5 generation, and it is the last model year of the C5. We're actually powered by a 5.7 liter naturally aspirated pushrod V8, making 405 horsepower, 400 pound-feet of torque with a 6,500 RPM redline. You can even see the power output right here on the Z06 badge, 405 horsepower. Not something you see on most cars. It was rated with a 0 to 60 of 4 seconds. It only came with a 6-speed manual transmission. It's actually a Tremec unit with an LSD coming standard. Double wishbone, both front and rear, with transverse composite leaf springs. Remember, only the C8 did away with the transverse leaf springs. We're weighing in right around 3,100 pounds, and we get some weight savings with a fixed hardtop, thinner glass, and a lighter battery. 51 to 49 front to rear weight distribution, and a 104-inch wheelbase. Market value is around $20,000 to $40,000, and in terms of mods, Bilstein B8 Shocks, C6 Z06 Shifter with bushings and a Momo Knob, and also a 350mm Momo tuner steering wheel with Corbeau Evo X Seats. Especially in this bright yellow, these have such road presence. They have that 90s styling to them. Cool in a 90s kind of way. Now these are fixed back seats, which means I'm actually not able to push the seat any further back than this, unfortunately. And as a result, you'll have to pardon my heel-toe downshifts because my legs are a little bit squished. And I think what my buddy Mark did with both the seats as well as the steering wheel actually fits the character of the car. I mean, at the end of the day, this is a C5 Corvette with the interior in terms of build quality, design, all those things. But the black, the materials, they actually fit and feel very cohesive with the rest of the interior. He even added this aftermarket unit that even has, look at that, a reverse cam. Since your rear visibility is of course a little bit compromised, we have tilt to the steering wheel, but no telescoping. And that's why he actually added a spacer as well to bring the steering wheel a little bit closer. It's a no-fuss interior, really just purpose-built for driving. I like the speedometer and the tach. Got the Z06, got the Corvette logo right there. And incredible that they even have a heads-up display in 2004. Not the brightest, it's hard to see, but I'm still impressed nonetheless. Yeah, man, even the shifter, like, Mark is a sharp dude. Good taste, attention to detail, makes everything feel congruent. 6,500 RPM redline, pushrod V8, very American. We're running lower grip tires though. I don't think they're even 300 tread wear, so we're not gonna go too crazy today. Dude, this shifter feels excellent though. Good call. Taking the shifter from the C6. This feels super tight and mechanical. Longer throws, which is fine. It's congruent, period correct. Feels like it is fitting with the rest of the inputs. But really tight, mechanical, and notchy. Just how I like. Definitely a bit soft, so it's quite comfortable. And finding a good balance point for primarily street duty. I don't think that Mark has tracked this yet, although he probably will, knowing him. You know, 51-49 is part of the equation. People focus so much on the weight distribution front to rear. But you have to remember the polar moment of inertia. You can feel the weight in front not wanting to rotate, actually. It feels like a long car with a lot of weight at the extremes. Getting a little wheel chirp there. Nice linear throttle response and power delivery, and it builds to redline. I drove a C4 Z06. There's probably something wrong with that example because that thing really died off as you approach redline, even when you had the power mode engaged. There's no power mode here, no different drive settings and such. Brakes actually feel surprisingly modern, not overly firm by any means, but really quite a stiff pedal in a good way, in a confidence-inspiring way. Not getting as much communication from the front end as I would like, honestly. You know, medium to higher effort steering, which I like. I don't like steering that's too light, especially in a sports car. I just wish that the front end was talking a little bit more to me. Especially from a car of this era, you get your hopes up. So when cars were far more communicative than they are today, but I'm not getting much load up or texture from the road. Feeling the heft too as we go side to side. That weight transfer is very prominent. The car feels quite large. Actually feels heavier than what it's rated at. But man, for $20,000 to $40,000, you're getting a good amount of driving experience. I mean, you get more than 400 horsepower, a naturally aspirated engine, a 6-speed manual transmission. Granted, this one is swapped out from the newer gen Corvette, but it feels excellent. A lot of the inputs feel pretty one-to-one as well, pretty natural. There's not a big learning curve here. You have those fundamentals. You have the front engine, rear wheel drive, double wishbone, paired with, of course, the transverse leaf springs. And it's always interesting when you drive these cars from different countries, you can feel the character of the country come through. And this one very much feels like America, you know what I mean? You got that grow hair on your chest kind of feeling. You spend more time behind this, you're gonna grow a beard, get some hair on your chest, deepen your voice a little bit. That V8 rumble, pushrod sound, very American. These cars have some cool factor for sure, and you gotta know what you're getting into though. It's not the German precision, it's not the Japanese delicacy, it's not the Italian flair, it's the American, how do I want to say it, brutishness, right? Not to say that it's unbalanced or not a fun car. It's awesome. It has a character. You want to laugh with it. It feels like it doesn't take itself too seriously. And that's one of the things I am loving about this car. And I like what Mark has done too, going OEM plus. Very tasteful mods, just subtly changing things here and there to make them feel a little bit better, a little bit more modern, but not overall changing the character. Because when you change the overall character and feel of the car, sometimes you'll have, you know, a brake that feels overly grabby and modern, but then a slow steering ratio, and then a really sloppy transmission. You're just like, wait, hold on, how is this all part of the same car? It feels like a mishmash of different pieces, a parts bin special almost, just from modding it incorrectly. But Mark here has done very tasteful mods, elevating the experience, extracting the most out of the C5 Z06, such that you aren't, you know, taken aback by maybe a dated steering wheel or, you know, a sloppy shifter, things like that. Now, would I buy one for $20,000 to $40,000? Again, you got to know what you're getting yourself into. And if you want lightweight chassis balance and delicacy and precision and dancing with the car at the limit in a way that a lot of Japanese and German cars can do, then no, this is not for you. But if you want a ton of performance for $20,000 to $40,000, I can't speak to the reliability. I'm not sure about the ownership experience. For those who are more familiar, leave a comment down below. But at that price point, you're getting a ton of performance. If I were to track this car as an owner, I would be concerned about consumables because it is a larger car. It is a bit heavier. I'm actually finding it hard to believe it's only 3,100 pounds because it feels like it's heavier than that. That might be an incorrect rating. But I remember back when I was a kid reading Car and Driver religiously, they always spoke about Corvettes just punching way above their weight class in terms of performance. And even 20 plus years later, this thing is nothing to sneeze at. It is capable. It has the performance. I think stiffening up the suspension would improve the level of confidence you have when you're pushing it and reduce the body roll, make it feel a little bit more agile. I think stickier rubber, of course, would help as well. And maybe even playing with the alignment to see if you can get a little bit more communication through the front end. But still, I'm impressed with this vehicle, and I think Mark has done an awesome job with these subtle mods. Gotta love the grab handle right here too. The oh shit handle for your passenger. For kids of the 90s, such as yours truly, I think these have some nostalgia factor, some cool factor to them. Looking at them, they look very, very 90s. This is like quintessential 90s. I mean, this came out 2004, but the styling carried over from earlier years of the C5. I think the C5 came out in 1997, if I'm not mistaken. Got those flowy lines. Also really stands out in this bright yellow. But my friends, let me know what you think of the C5 Z06. Big shout out to my buddy Mark for letting me review his car. If you want your car reviewed, visit us on jabalandcars.com. Fill out the form on the homepage. Much love, my friends, and I'll see you all in that next one.